It's going really well, F-Dot. Thank you for asking, and welcome back to the commentary desk, my friends in Twitch chat. And those of you here in Alpharetta with us, my name is Bart. That's Zapman from Eager, and hi-rez's very own Hindu Man here joining us. And, well, we're making our way into game number 2, boys. It's Fnatic down 1 to Team SoloMid. And Divio's showing us why he is such a god at LAN often, even though he has not done so well this season, showing us a little bit of the things.
Divio's played well, but I really think it came down to those 2 mid-harpy fights right at the start of the game. Back-to-back, they got kills, the TSM, and there was nothing for Fnatic to do in that.
Right, and another thing is they got to figure out what these NA solo laners are bringing to the table. 4 games, 4 different solo picks. I wonder what's next.
I love this tweet by SunTouch that I just saw come in. A moment of silence for all the EU people who believe this weekend. At least we have free healthcare for the pounding we are taking.
Shout outs to healthcare.
Yeah, shout outs to universal healthcare, my friends. As, yeah, that's, I mean, I think you're right. It's all falling apart in the solo lane. No one's playing this kind of game in Europe.
Not particularly. I mean, to be honest, like you said in the last cast, it was like gentleman's agreement to an extent, but it's kind of a strange one where we're just not playing some of these gods that we're seeing coming out this time around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was being a little facetious there, but I mean, it did feel like that at times, right? It was like, here are the gods we all agree are very, very strong, and it is the player skill that change, you know, let's just play tiers and whatnot. But let's take it into the P's and B's, if you will. It is Athena with the first ban there, not wanting to have that go to the side. This indicates to me that they don't want that Athena in the first pick position.
Are they going to look for Sylvanas here or take Gab away from Ionic is my question, because that Athena ban, that went to Fnatic last game round. You can see that time after time TSM draft Gab.
It's interesting to see Bakasura banned second. It just seems like TSM does not want to deal with that pick at all. They're not planning on picking it, and they're not planning on facing it.
It's easy to lose to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can lose to Bakasura in other situations where another god would not necessarily win.
Very, very good Bakasura as well.
One.
Even though he's not played it, you could definitely just pull it out of the bag at LAN, no problem, and be like, yeah, I can play this god, no problem.
So they've banned out Sylvanas here, has TSM kind of begging Fnatic to either, deal with this first pick Bellona.
This Bellona thing, right?
Yeah.
We use on the Bellona hype train right now, and I had a feeling that when we get to LAN, this is Bellona's time to shine. If she does not shine, I don't think we'll see her as big in the competitive scene as we currently see in where she's being first pick, first ban material.
Maybe not. I love this, though. I love that they're going right back to Serqet Geb, because I think what TSM's going to do there is they're going to pick Serqet. Every time they win, they're going to keep picking Serqet until they force that ban.
Right, and the problem with Serqet is that if she goes in, she's very prone to dying while she's using her ultimate, right? Because she's vulnerable in that state. However, Geb gives her that extra survivability with the shield, with the cleanse.
Well, I'm interested to see where we're going to take that Bellona as well. Is it going to be the jungle for Fnatic, or is it going to go into the solo lane
I hope it's the solo lane. She needs heavy hammer.
You reckon it's going to be solo lane?
Yeah,
okay.
I hope so.
Well, we'll see where he's going at the moment, because obviously he's picked up here. Once again, Ionic's Geb is online. I'm hoping it's not solo lane, though, just because I'd rather wait for Fnatic to see what Divio's picks and go, right, we know what we're against now. Let's pick against it, because most of these games I've seen is North America's the one that's counter-picking to an extent.
Hey, there he is. He's a patron saint of war and currency. It's Guan Yu. Picked up for Fnatic.
I'm honestly not sure where that's going.
Hey, they're getting spicy here.
I know Trix loves that god, but I don't know.
Trix doesn't play for this team already. I thought the same thing, right? I was like, oh, that's going to Trix. Wait.
As soon as you say Guan Yu, you think Trix.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so this could very well be the solo lane, right? With Bellona in the jungle, or vice versa.
It could be Guan Yu support.
It could be.
Because Guan Yu against Geb is a good matchup for Guan Yu. He's got sustain, he's got push power, he can shred the protections of Geb
he's got anti-knockup.
He's got anti-knockup as well. He can cause a lot of issues in this lane. It's not one we generally see, but we know we see a Guan Yu against a Sylvanas is a great matchup that EU's talked about for a long time.
However, if it was going to be a Guan Yu for an aggressive dual lane, I would like to see a different pick than the Rama, right? Rama's very passive, not much kill potential, levels 1 through 4.
Yeah, you would ideally have a hunter with some more kind of prominent CC, right? Like Yonher's the Cupid, even Artemis.
I think this is so up in the air right now. Bellona could be in the solo lane. Guan Yu could jungle. Guan Yu is an effective jungler as well. Gank potential with the horse as well. Chase potential from the mid lane is like, if there's an Agni, you can still chase him down with the cavalry charge as well. So he can be jungled. It's just not something we see very, very often. I feel this is Fnatic's game of like, okay, it's time to show EU could do janky too, but when you're not used to seeing.
Well, it's going to be an interesting pick here coming out of, no, it's not. I forgot. It's Snoopy. I was going to say, what are they going to pick as their hunter here? Shibalaka is banned and Ram already picked. It's going to be, of course, your Vulcan in the duo lane. It always is for Snoopy.
I've firsthand had the experience of facing Snoopy's Vulcan, and it is devastating. He has a knack of hitting all his meatballs, landing all his backfires, and just keeping you on your toes all game long.
Is it just constant poke is how he plays out with this Vulcan in the lane? Is this how it works?
It is.
Poke, poke, poke,
it is,
poke?
and if you try to go on the Vulcan, he has Get to back him up. Shield, knock up.
And Vulcan has a nearly inverse power curve to a Hunter, right? He is exceptional when the Hunters are at their weakest point.
But he also has that ultimate that when there's a mini fight around the gold fury or something,
right.
he doesn't have to rotate all the way.
That's
throw the ult out.
He's the only player in the world that you see really hitting Vulcan ultimates because of exactly what you're mentioning, right? Waddle out of the duo lane, drop your ultimate onto the gold fury as Vulcan, and it's probably gonna hit some people.
He's actually really good at using his 3 to set up his ultimate right away.
Right.
I tried that once. I landed my 3, but my ultimate went over the wall.
Yeah.
Challenger level play.
Challenger level play.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
right. There's a reason he's a pro, Zach, man. It's Sobek and Rama. We're getting spicy
That
over
Vulcan's
here.
gonna be mid. That Vulcan's gonna be mid for the boys of TSM.
Vulcan in the mid lane?
It's gonna be Vulcan
No,
mid.
I don't know. Boosh does play
Boosh
Ullr in the mid.
does play
He
in the
does,
mid.
yeah.
So this is probably mid lane Ullr. I think that this is could very well be the lane that's remembered as the rise of Ullr as not a Hunter.
I have no clue where Fnatic's going with that comp.
They're gonna run
Who's support?
with that composition. It looks like it's gonna be a 5-man mid.
I think it's I think it's Guan support, and I think it's gonna be Sobek, and it's gonna be Bellona jungle. But I can't be certain. It could be Bellona support, Guan jungle.
There's no way.
Sobek.
I mean, there's no way Sobek goes to the dual lane, right? Because Geb laughs at Sobek. Sobek's like charge prey, and as you know, charge prey kind of latches on and then tosses someone. You have like a full second and a half to be like Geb
and
shield.
he doesn't jungle, so it's gonna be solo.
He's got to go solo.
So it's going to be Sobek, and you're going to be running a Guardian into Devios, who's just
Son
played
Wukong.
Guardians all season.
Right.
Sure.
So Fnatic's team comp really looks like they just want to be in your face, right? Guan
Yeah,
Yu ultimate,
fight,
Sobek
fight.
goes in, he uses lurking in the water, slows everybody, while Guan Yu's, in cavalry charge. And you have Rama, the hyper carry, in the back line, trying to auto attack people down. And if they get far away, you can just snipe them.
It's Winged Blade for me. TSM Winged Blades, this game's free.
It could cover
It's
a lot of
all slows on the side of Fnatic, right?
But I mean, like again, this is the same composition for Fnatic. Again, all protect the Rama. We
Yeah,
saw
indeed.
in the All-Star game, you saw Reels go off in that when he played Rama
True.
against Allied in
Yeah.
that.
True.
And he didn't take much of an advantage to have to do that. If he could do it in this one, we'll see how it goes.
See how Zeros does with the Raw as well. He was a little bit deficient on that Poseidon, but maybe he can make it happen here in game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Fnatic versus TSM. 1-game advantage to the North American boys. Let's introduce your squads. The left side of your screen, the bottom side of your mini-map, and wearing the blue trunks for this contest, it is Fnatic. Maniac will be your solo lane Sobek. Captain Twig in the jungle is Bellona. Zeros in the mid lane as Ra, and that leaves Badja and Reels as your duo, Guan Yu and Ram. Their opponents today, up 1 game, it's Team SoloMid, the right side of your screen. The top side of your minimap, it's Divios in the solo lane on Dark Lord Sun Wukong. Degars will be your jungler once again as Serqet. Boosh in the mid lane as Ullr. And that leaves a duo lane of Snoopy on the Vulcan and Ionic, the god, as Geb.
Now, this Ra versus Ullr matchup is not one we see very, very often, but what you're looking from a Ra most of the time is he looks to sustain up, whereas Ullr is all burst, and against a mage early on, he can 100-0 you.
Right. The matchup really comes down to, is Ullr going to land his skill shots, right? If he lands his skill shots, he'll be able to poke down the Ra, probably more than the Ra can heal, at least in the early game.
I can tell you that the last time we saw this run, Divios was playing solo lane Sobek, and at the mid camps they would just charge spray people back into the Ullr combo, and they have a pretty similar setup here between the Meatball and or the Serqet ultimate.
Well, build on Devios this time around. Going to start off with the Bluestone. Lots of sustain once again coming out of him in terms of potions, and just that Hog 1 available for him. So no, obviously, Mystical Mail this time around. You don't really want to go that against a Sobek. I mean, he does magical damage anyway.
Although, I mean, when Mystical Mail was very heavily prominent in the meta in the solo lane, everyone was building it regardless, right?
True.
I mean, the amount of HP that item gives you really is fine against Sobek's pretty modest mid-game scaling. I mean, his ultimate does scale like kind of a legacy quote-unquote Guardian in Smite. Has one of those kind of old-style ultimates that scales at 100%. But it's not that great. Ooh, dual lane. Wow, the pressure.
This is what's going to happen with Guan Yu. Guan Yu very aggressive on this Geb. To be honest, they've got a lot of problems that the Geb's going to have with the knock-on.
Right. Usually the strength of the Vulcan Geb lane is that they should have the push. However, they went a warrior support who can outpush the Geb.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
Televisol does a lot of damage.
I don't know. I think maybe that's a little bit of an old way of thinking about it, right? Because purple buff now factoring into this lane. The Vulcan's nowhere near as potent as the Ram as a lane clear.
You're right. I actually didn't think of the purple.
On
That's
top of
very
that,
true.
Conviction, one of the only skills that still heals minions when you take into the lane. Sylvanas is
That's
used
right.
to heal as well, but now Conviction. You see Guan quite a lot against Sylvanas nowadays because he's very, very strong up against that matchup. Mobility is the big issue in this lane for Geb, and they can really close on him. When he tries to roll out, Rama can roll in and cripple him to stop the rollout as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Continue chase.
They do have a pretty nice matchup there, don't they? You know what this Guan Yu reminds me of a little bit of the classic kind of European style of Mir, picked as a aggressive counter matchup to kind of meta prominent god.
Very much so. I really like the Rama pick just because the cripple against... I mean, you must have played this at Rama versus Vulcan matchup. You can cripple the backfire for a second.
You can, and that cripple always hits you by surprise. There's no big animation, you know, that says, "Oh, you're crippled," right? Yeah. So
it's just on you, and you're like, "I can't do anything.
Why can't I jump?
Why can't I do anything?" So at this stage of the game at the moment, 2 minutes into this one, mid Harpy's not available yet. The rotations from the junglers to mid lane here. As you can see, we're tuning with Captain Twig actually invading those back right. Harpy's going to take them with a hog, hit himself level 5 very, very quickly.
Twiggy's got to be looking for a kill here pretty soon.
It's a very fast level 5 coming out from Twig.
It's a 700 XP per minute level 5, isn't it?
He's done a great job of getting there already.
Boosh could be in some trouble here. It's Ullr. Fairly low on mana. This one might take them by surprise. Boosh, he does spot out the rotation. Twig seems to want Gars more, and he's just going to look for the harass, not looking to pop off there.
The issue is there is that Twig wasn't... Sorry, Zeros wasn't 5. If he was 5, they could have got him.
Right.
Easy.
Captain Twig got an early level 5, but guess what? No kill potential because his mid lane's still level 4.
Exactly. If he had the ultimate there, Zeros, they would have all 100% combo onto the Gars' Serqet. There was no escape.
Exactly.
Yeah, unlike the last game where we saw a lot of action out of the Sun Wukong, diving the towers and finding kills against the Sobek, it ain't happening here. Oh, they're going to use that first Bellona ultimate to sneak the Gold Fury. They're dumping all their spells into it. There's just nothing from Team SoloMid. They can't do anything. That Bellona AoE steroid out of her ultimate makes it easy for them. Snoopy throws a lackluster ultimate over the wall, finds nothing. It's a 3-minute Gold Fury.
I think we can see why they picked this team comp, right? Double heal, they have Bellona ultimate for the extra protections to tank the Gold Fury, and Guan Yu shred on the Gold Fury protections.
And it works out so crystal clear as well. They saw the Team SoloMid went for the right Harpies. They waited to make sure where everybody was on the map and went, let's ignore the mid Harpies on the left. They still got them as well on the exit bar. I mean, that was a really good play.
Yeah, they just got about as good as it can get for their side. You don't lose the Harpies, you trade Harpies, and you take the Gold Fury in the meantime. And granted, they did dump several ultimates into it, but the Ra ultimate as one of them is not really that big of a loss. It comes up very, very shortly here for him. And while looking around the map, I will say that the Devourer's gloves have come out on Ram, and Ullr has not yet gotten a chance to build into them. So at least in that respect, he's a bit behind the power curve. Boosh also no actives to his name here, so he could be in for a little bit of a rough time if this Bellona comes a knocking.
Right, and something else that Gold Fury did, not just give him more golden experience, but it definitely raised their morale, right? They pulled a fast one on TSM that looked almost perfect in Game 1.
Well, there's one thing we didn't mention at the start of this is how little wards TSM actually place. And that factors into that for that Gold Fury that we just saw taken away from them too. That's the Fnatic boys researching the enemy team, realizing, hey, they don't place wards at this time. Let's go.
They saw the 28 wards on Boosh all season.
Yeah, TSM plays something like the 7th or 8th least wards in the league out of 12 teams. Definitely the least amount of plays for any kind of top tier team.
Well, there's a big group on the right-hand side. There's 4 members competing for this steal over for this the blue buff. As we see Bellona initiate into this one as well. And Snipe does not really do much damage. You're not got a lot of load there. But Devio still on the front line, still has Cloud available. Going to be using it now as Serqet goes in. DeGods is in a lot of trouble here, but will he get out?
He's still fighting here. He is going to be the first blood, but Divios gets a return kill right away on the Twig, and the fight continues. Divios trying to do what he can, and now he's going to Oxform away. Boosh also looking to bail. They're going to try to run down the Sun Wukong, but that's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world. It is Maniac, though. He's going to have the Sickle Strike, and now a Tail Whip as well, and that's a secured kill. 2-1 for Fnatic in an opening 3-kill fray, and Reels, he wants to make a try here.
He's not got ultimate available. He's just using that engagement. Obviously, we missed the action.
Pick up that arrow. Come on, Reels.
Pick up the arrow.
Lazy bum.
It's just lazy. Do you leave arrows too, Zach, man?
Never. Even if I have to take a tower shot.
You dive towers to pick up arrows.
That's right.
Confirmed by Zach, man, here in this one. 2-1 for Fnatic now. This composition seems to be working out for them this time. I mean, these team fights are a total different switch to what we saw last time around. Badger's cavalry charge and that engagement just caused so many issues they didn't expect.
Yeah, Twig seems a lot more comfortable on Bellona than Hercules.
I think TSM, they think they're stronger than they are, right? They're not used to dealing with a warrior support. You saw how much damage that Guan Yu did to the Serqet with his cavalry charge and his shred on his 3.
Well, I mean, the North American meta as a whole, you don't play that many warriors at the moment. It's mainly all just Guardian focus.
We mainly want the control from the Guardians, right?
And over in EU, we see a lot more in terms of the warrior meta, where we see multiples, even the challenger. As we see an engagement, it looks like we might see some trouble here for Devios.
Transformations are down. The ultimate is not available either, so Devios forced to run out of this one. No real clear path to re-engage. Gars does get disarmed on that Serqet. not the biggest detriment to her, although it does prevent her from popping off that percentage damage. In the meantime, right side camps, the diversion is successful. Will go to the side of TSM. Left side's coming back up now, and the fight is raging. Looks like those were picked up by Zeros for Fnatic, but TSM doesn't look done just yet.
He got caught between two. The meatball's going to connect, backfire too. There's the diving from Serqet as well as the cataclysm from
They used
Ionic.
everything though. Badger, does he have his ultimate here? I mean,
why not? Why not? It's a free kill. There's no gold fury. There's no harpies.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's the reinitiation from the Guan Yu. I mean, that's one of the biggest strengths this god does have is long-range reinitiation, especially in those. I mean, I want to go back to when we were listening to the TSM comms in the last game, and they were saying this is their strongest fight of the game. Now he's using the ultimate there just to heal.
Devios over here. Reels is going to trade out with Devios here as Devios is rotated over here with the teleport. Devios finds himself in a bit of hurt, but 72 transformations.
Stupid Ox form.
Get out of jail free card.
Every single time, pretty much. And then on top of that, you still got the Sun Cloud as well if you get in trouble there.
Exactly.
But yeah, so as I was saying, you know, it's kind of listening to TSM comment in the last games, they were saying this is their strongest fight, right? When they're resurging after that tier 2 was still up, and Guan Yu is really the master of that moment. He can turn that fight for you. Similar to a Thor, but more resilient in the fight.
I mean, he could have loved for Badger to engage then. He chose not to in that situation. What did they really gather? I mean, they got left Harpies and they lost 1 kill for the ultimates on Zeros. Zeros is build at the moment. Just got those shoots of focus online. I'll be interested to see if he goes for the sort of EU build with this Rod of Asclepius that's starting to come to the forefront from Lobster's build for the most part, and look for this Timorte Lotus Crown as well, and just be looking for, you know, this hyper sustain for your team.
So I will tell you at the moment, it's a 2 sentry to 1 sentry advantage for Fnatic in the inventories here. So as this Gold Fury comes back up, they will have the trump in terms of vision if they go for it here. I mean, I can't imagine why they wouldn't expend the resources to have it.
Ionic did just place his actually in the near the mid Harpies, I think.
Yes.
So they've not actually got any Gold Fury control for this one for the time being. Twig going aggressive against Degars. Degars just going to Deathbane away for the time being and just see how this is going on.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering, what the hell is Sun Wukong doing over here? It's a lane swap. Vulcan's going to go take over that solo lane versus the Sobek and passively farm while Wukong tries to deal and slow down the farm from Real ZX's Ram.
I think Divios realized that the Sobek has a lot of poke damage. Divios he's rushing the Mystical Mail again, right? And the Sobek is actually, his poke is hurting him, and he says, hey, I could just farm Feely against the Ram better than I can against the Sobek.
It's a good call. I mean, this is something we don't see as often in Smite, but Reels is going to try and punish him here and be like, hey, come to my lane. This ain't solo island over here, so I've got ranged attacks here.
Yeah, he just wants to finish off this Mystical Mail and, you know, slow down Reels if he can. Doesn't look like he was too successful in that venture, but
I think he can if he carries on, though.
Oh, Maniac, he's going for a port across the map here. Looks like they're going to try for another Gold Fury, but Ionic is here. Not a lot of support just yet. Gar's going to turn the corner. Tossed back now as Ionic through the Stone Shield. Ultimate comes out, and here comes the cavalry charge on the red hair is Guan Yu. Ionic dead to rights here. Nothing he can do to follow that one up, and just trying to bail his guards, but he's going to eat Robinus. Invicta.
False coming out as well, though. But meanwhile, what should happen here is Twig zones them out as they continue doing the Gold Fury. Finally, Devios does turn up, as do the rest of the reinforcements. This could be close now, but he's still going to go to Fnatic.
Really astute play there by Fnatic, right? Without that Vulcan ultimate, there's really not a high damage ability they have to be too worried about grouping up around the Gold Fury, and they take it for free. They may lose Twiggy here as he's going to try to dash away, but it's a brilliant axe out of Boosh. He misses the volley of arrows, but hey, he hit a nice-looking axe.
It was a great-looking axe as well from the max distance. He can potentially hit
Reels, he's feeling himself. He's going to try to fight 3 right into the ultimate, and boom goes the dynamite as he finds the last shot there. The ultimate from Vulcan is nasty, though. The Earthshaker helping clean up now, and it's going to be Badger on the retreat.
Mistake from Fnatic.
Resurge is back,
They should have just backed out. They got out clean as well, and they went back in to try and do more.
Yeah, it was a bit of a greedy play there by Reels. Snoopy, credit to Snoopy, hit a huge ultimate that allowed him to clean up the rest of the fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a bit backwards and forwards there. The Gold Fury goes to Fnatic. They do come out on top, but they lose the red buff and their purple buff on that side of the map, too, in comparison for what they didn't have to do.
Zeros just snatched those mid-camps away.
He just that Ionic farm.
Yeah, he just ulted right in there. Nothing for Ionic. No farm for you, sir. But he will place a ward right next to a sentry, so Ionic going to at least get the moral victory.
Well, this is now the blink. Was that a blink?
That was a blink.
I don't think I expected to see 2 there.
That was
interesting.
Yeah,
just surprised with the blink. I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, I didn't fire any abilities. Did Ionic try to set anything up there? But well, it's 10.5 minutes in here so far, guys. We're all squared 4-4. Little over 1,000 gold separating the teams, to the credit of Fnatic as they're down 1-0. And, well, it looks like they're going to take this tower in short order here on the right side, while Team SoloMid, if they want to invest into it, they certainly can. They have Serqet and Wukong over here for the moment.
It's a much better composition coming out from the boys of Fnatic this time around. It's working to their advantages here. Breastplate of Valor being built on Zeros here, so he's gone for full cooldown reduction. Breastplate of Valor is something that people look at and go, why are people building this again? It's because the physical protection you get from it, plus mana and cooldown reduction, and the lack of penetration makes it such a viable item.
Yeah, it's a very strong item, especially against Ullr mid.
Well, 4 physicals in total as well.
Right.
I mean, sorry, 3 physicals in total. I keep forgetting Snoopy.
Snoopy, Vulcan,
Snoopy's like that
yeah.
Vulcan. I forgot that was actually on magical.
Well, Maniac is continuing to bully Sun Wukong, as you mentioned. Yeah, the matchup just really needs to be into a physical god, it seems like here, especially if you want this mystical male to kind of preserve some later game
I think
viability.
Devios knows he's dead. He knows he's dead, so he's fighting. I don't think he knows he can get away from this, so he's just fighting. That was Devios just accepting death and trying to put a beat down as much as he could. He wasn't getting away.
It looks like Maniac found the counter to Wukong solo because he's rushing a physical defense item. So any mage guardian, they have really high scaling. And you see what he did there.
Oh, that one was just off the mark, but could have been big. Could have waited for that Bellona initiation as well, and now with the chance to reinitiate, it's TSM. The ultimate's gonna hit.
Oh my
1-0
God,
in
he
a
hit
lot
as he
of trouble.
landed.
It exploded real ZX, and now it's Badger trying to bail his team out. Booch goes over the top, tossed back by Maniac, but he's gonna find the axe now onto Badger. The burst gonna come through shortly. They need to pick a target though. It's Twig that falls first as Booch gets credit for that one. Snoopy maintaining a frontline presence with the backfire and pushing Badger out of the fight. Maniac's gonna try to continue to make some plays on the Sobek here, but nothing cooking just yet, and Snoopy's rotating back over. He's cut off his escape. The axe is on the mark again. Booch is just an absolute maniac with this thing. How is it happening?
Every single axe, and now he's made it. But he charged prey! The turret charged prey blocked him getting away, but he's still alive with the various amounts of HP now. And there's still the trades going on. As Snoopy surrounding Badger's got nothing else, so he's going to back out. Maniac, though, could be in trouble. Conviction comes out. Meanwhile, in the back, Devios picks up Zero.
The Devios twins here. Sun Wukong decoy is out. He's going to find one underneath the tower fairly low, as well as a Sobek, and he will get cleaned up eventually as Sun Wukong, mystical male done. He shows his muscles again in this one, in the same way that the last game went, diving the towers and just being an overall annoyance in the fights.
It's got a little bit messy, this game's out, man, but one thing we saw in the last game, TSM's comms are very, very strong, and in team fights is what you said, they're very, very good
at. You don't want to find yourself in an extended team fight against TSM. That is their specialty, and you see how much trouble Fnatic is having securing these kills, and I would probably have to attribute that to the Guan you support, right? There's no hard CC to set up the skill shots for the kill secures.
I think when you actually do look at how the comms are here, I mean, Maniac, he's got a knock up, he's got the charge pay for a flip. Bellona's got her ultimate for 1 second stun. I mean, as well, you can have to use cavalry charge for 1 initiation, and then you've got a slow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right, like,
Slows.
CC is a bit lacking.
That's kind of what I was saying in the earlier stages, right? The winged one could really just blow this game open for them. But Gold Fear's going to be back up in about 40 seconds, guys. Let's listen to In with Fnatic here and see how they're trying to prepare for the extended engagement going into this Gold Fury.
Did you push right to you?
Gab's there, Gab's there.
I can clear ward for gold. I can clear ward gold. I'm gonna get this midway first.
I'm here.
I took his ward, I took his ward.
Clear ward on their own purple.
Yeah. I took his ward.
Nice. Red's up.
I'm clear ward and give
That means
gold.
purple's going to be up soon as well. We should get our buffs before any fights.
Gold's up soon, yeah. We have a lot of wards around the Fury. This is good. I could back and buy an item, but I don't know if I have time.
Maybe it's so low, dude.
Purple's up, Rails?
Yes, sir.
Maybe I should, so we can take a good fight. I don't know.
We can do it. They're clear warding, I think.
They're here, yeah.
We got enough on for it, yeah?
Yeah, they're clear warding.
They're looking for a fight or something.
They don't have a clear ward. They don't have a clear ward.
Yeah, they clear ward high side.
Wukong will TP.
Oh,
He's on you.
They jumped. That's his
Nice.
nice.
Skip shield, skip shield. I'm
There's
going
Gap
mid.
here.
Let's gap shield, let's gap shield. Oh,
Oh,
Ullr's coming from the side. Ullr's coming.
yeah, I healed him.
I'm out.
Careful. Ullr's here, guys. Ullr's here.
That's Rahil's down. Wait for the next Rahil.
Gab link, Gab link, Gab link, Gab link, Gab link. That's Gab's going in. Nice. Gab link down, Gab link down. Fury's up,
Look
Fury's
to
up.
group. We can fight with the next heal.
Fury's up. They have no Gab link now. Serqet's there.
They're looking to do it.
Yeah, they're starting it. They started it.
Yeah.
Maybe look for a fight.
We need to go in. We need to go in.
I'm going.
I'm gonna ulti.
Yeah, go.
Vulcan. I'm going Vulcan. Oh, he's out. Oh, nice. Vulcan. Nice. Get it.
One help. Backline. Behind
We can't.
Serqet and someone combine.
He'll go on them, maybe?
That's not the... Serqet taunt down. Serqet beat.
Nice.
Do you have heal soon?
Heal. We need.
That's a fake one, right?
You don't have mana.
It's a fake one. That's... Ullr zoom.
Back here.
That's a 1-for-1. Ullr zoom.
We
just back,
whatever.
Someone go mid.
I have a really hard time finding snipes. We don't really have any setup.
Yeah,
Wait for my ult usually.
Yeah, call when you're ultimate and I'm gonna snipe.
As we come back to the desk here, guys, you can hear just how much trouble they're having with that Sun Wukong.
Did you hear what Zero said, though?
Yeah.
I'm having trouble with those snipes, and that's exactly what Zap was talking about, is that there's no hard CC to set it up for them going forward. Zero's has been struggling last game with the Krakens, this game with the snipes. I mean, last game's different, but this one, not having trouble finding those snipes, that's part of Ra's kit.
Right, this game, it's going to be so difficult for him to hit it. Bellona has a half a second, 1 second stun on her ultimate. Guan Yu, you don't know when he's going to land his cavalry charge. He may do it on an instant because of some kind of reaction. It's going to be tough for him all game.
Right, and you know, they may be having a little bit of trouble kind of synergizing with the Bellona and Ra setup. And a couple times I've seen Bellona hit a couple targets, but Ra, as you can see, sitting at the bottom player damage in this game, really not finding much on the back of that. Zero's struggling.
Fnatic know this. Zeros knows this himself. He's telling his team, and hopefully, you know, if EU can play this better, Fnatic can do this better. They can realize this is the weak point of their game and fix it. In that engagement, though, that we saw, Reels got isolated, and we spoke about Reels. It's like, with this composition, you protect the Reels.
Right.
He was isolated this time. He got picked up by both the jungler and the solo.
Especially when he's your hyper carry. You need to keep him alive. That's priority number 1.
They're relying so much on Maniac in the team fights to deal damage and bring some much needed burst to the table, as Zeros has not been putting up much in that column, that they can't spare the Sobek to peel.
Zeros is below Ionic in terms of damage from this game as well. It's just not Zeros' day.
And again, it's Sun Wukong at 12.5k damage dealt. I mean, way out ahead with Mystic Mail.
I mean, these fights are going a long time. I think about when you think about Mystical Mail in a team fight when there's a Ra on the enemy team, they're still healing, but you're constantly dealing damage because they're all setting that heal, and if you're in the face, you're getting free damage off the whole time.
TSM started up the Gold Fury here, looking to answer somehow as Fnatic. And, well, can Twiggy set up something for Zeros? You can see how far back he's forced to play as Gars is roaming, looking for the rod. He's going to find him here, at least one in hand, just to push him back. Wukong trying to make the plays through. Here comes the ultimate setup from Ionic. It looks like it did clip Maniac there, but not enough to really find a kill just yet. That's a nice on-target ultimate, but you can see TSM fairly resilient in this fight. They're going to push them away from that Bellona rally, and it's Divios just kiting in the backline. Now the Oxford knocking up 3 in the extended dash. As Boosh, he's going to run down Twiggy, and that's the big initiation piece gone out of the toolkit for Fnatic as TSM wins that engagement so far.
Meatball did so much in that, and now Boosh on the front line there with that heal in front, and with the knockups coming from the Meatball too. The charge play instantly beats away. Celestial Beam hits, but not doing a lot of damage. The Guards over the top, though, going in deep. He's going to watch himself. Good shield from Ionic with the snipes coming down. Badger's going to get himself a kill.
Times for Reels to shine here. He needs to run down at least one more to give them that big advantage that they're going to need here. I mean, they can take the gold here, it feels like, but Reels doesn't want to overextend. Zyros, did he snipe Gars out there on that recall?
He gets a kill. He does, and now with that and the sustain coming out from this composition, they can look to try and do this goal for you. Ionic's dead at the moment. No other Hog 3 on the side at all. Actually, yeah, no other Hog 3 on the side at all for Team SoloMid. Fnatic win that engagement.
Right, you saw what Guards did there. He didn't have beads. He dashed it, or he jumped over the wall and used his dash against a team that has 2 Guardian, or that has a Sobek, and he paid the price.
I mean, obviously the charge play hit Boosh as well, and he beats that immediately, so that was on cooldown too. The cleanup from Fnatic there wasn't so bad considering the situation they were in.
Does Badger have gold boots? Well, they're not gold boots anymore, but he's got reinforced. He's been loving those things.
Reinforced Greaves. I think it depends on the situation when you're playing as a support as well, because generally if you go for the Watcher's Gift, you can see them go for a bit of a tanky option because they're not going Vanguard anymore.
Yep.
When you go Bluestone, same sort of situation.
Right on.
You're getting the sustain, but you're not getting the tankiness that you really need when you're in that role.
One problem TSM's going to face is who's getting the anti-healing on their team.
Yeah, no active slots
Usually
remaining.
it's the mid-mage for the Divine Wound, but here we have Snoopy
Vulcan Divine Wound, you've only got Bancrofts as well.
It's not as good as, let's say, an Agni with a Divine
So
Wound.
will we see a Pestilence coming out? I mean, at the moment, if we check in with Divios, he looks like he might be working towards one there.
Yeah, it could be
100%
Divios and Ionic both building into one potentially here as the Silver Talismans come out. I mean, yeah, you're really spot on there. Like, who is going to be able to carry that with no access to the Weakening Curse to shut it down completely? They're going to need some kind of answer here. Oh my, it's a Frostbound Hammer, fully completed on Bellona. I don't see that icon very often.
Yeah, he did get Heavy Hammer rank too, but that attack speed slow is going to be important as well. It's going to slow down Boosh in this mid lane, who, to be honest, with the way he's playing this right now, he's 3-0 on 5. It's a good item to pick up. It's almost like a mini Witchblade in a weird way.
That extra slow on the fully completed Heavy Hammer will probably help them because they lack hard CC, right? So that extra slow probably helps Zeros land more snipes.
Well, talking about Zeros as well, and with his build here, I really hope he does go for the sort of Lobster-esque build that we've seen so many times before. It is a Pestilence on Divios there, but coming out, I'm not surprised to see that. But with Zeros, I would like to see him go for like Rod of Asclepius and go for just sustain. Keep his team alive in these long engagements. With the help of Conviction coming out as well on Badger on this Guan Yu, it could really help them just out-survive, because like you said, there's not much anti-healing.
Yeah, it's really helpful to have this Pestilence completed now for Divios. Yeah, the anti-heal, as you mentioned, going to be very valuable. But just his lane presence now against Sobek actually exists, right? He can take 15 probably sickle strikes now, where before, 5 or 6 are really starting to hurt him, get him down into gank range. So he's going to be a lot happier in the lane now, kind of just squaring off and keeping his tier 1 up and farming away happily into what should be some kind of aura-based item, most likely considering the style that he's been going for.
I think what this game is going to come down to for TSM is if they can get that burst off and kill one player instantly, right? Garz is going to look for his ultimate where it reduces healing. And then Snoopy's going to look for that long-range ultimate with Gep set up to finish that person off.
Reels with a decent trade against Vulcan there, but most of that hit the turret. Diva's going to rotate in here, forcing the sprint out of Reels, who's trying to juke out the transformations, but that means he's going to eat the slow. But Maniac, Intel behind.
They've rotated all the way from the solo lane now to try to put some hurting onto Reels. Going to take into the cloud is Sun Wukong and Twig. He's looking for the initiation here. Divios is cloned under tower. He's now going to leap on top of the Bellona. She's going to ult away, and now it's Fnatic with a couple of ultimates used defensively. Badge is rotating in. The big rotation from TSM doesn't find anything, though, but Fnatic doesn't have much farming going on.
This was the whole team turning up for this engaging because Divios came over here to help out against Reels. Reels backs away, gets support from Maniac. Then the support's like, well, we better be there because otherwise our hunters are going to shout at us. You probably did that all the time against Aurora, right?
I yell at him all the time. It's always his fault.
Always has to be.
That's right.
So we've had the games playing out right now, and one thing to note, you were talking about the burst coming out from TSM. They have to burst someone down quickly. I love what Badger's done and gone for that full shell. It's an item we don't see as often because most of the Guardians who play the support role are always wanting that blink more than likely, or a weakening curse to do with anti-heal. He's able to take that shell, which will help prevent some of that burst.
Right, he doesn't have to, yeah, that's exactly right. It seems like Badger realized what TSM needs to do, and he's looking to counterplay that.
Give me your opinion here on the executioner over Iqvile for the Ullr here. Yeah, Ullr's built an executioner over the Iqvile.
Honestly, it's preference, right? He wants Poppy more. He wants the crit earlier to burst that target down, right? Ishval is more of like a boxing type of thing. He's probably not really going to box the Raw in mid lane, right? So he wants to get his crit out first.
So he's just looking for the damage.
Exactly.
He's going to drop away from that and look for the burst damage overall with the crit. We'll see how that plays out.
Well, maybe that is where they find it, right? Serqet will have crit. She already has that hidden dagger. Going to be working towards the Deathbringer fairly shortly, it feels like. And yeah, Ullr kind of indicating that he's going to be going for a crit build as well with this executioner, getting that extra pen and attack speed out. So the burst could very well be coming from the physical department here, as the sustained damage from Magical will come in the form of Sun Wukong's Mystical Mail.
There was a Cataclysm by Ionic in that mid lane as well. I didn't really follow it to anything. Zeros did use his ultimate defensively there to make sure he could survive that one. Also make sure, I believe, he actually did use the bees there as well, but we'll see how this one goes on again. I think we're going to be tuning in again, are we, with the players?
Yeah, about 15 seconds till this Gold Fury comes back up, guys. Let's listen along as TSM sets up for the next big map objective.
They're going to focus Snoopy because...
Yeah, we have to keep Snoopy alive. That's #1 priority. Guys, you should probably just sit back and... I guess, I don't know much.
I'm just going to try to catch someone out, I think.
Bellona's left.
Real's just backed.
Bellona and Sobek are left.
We go this game up.
I'm going to sentry. Come help me sentry, guys.
Yeah, I'm here.
Don't worry.
Only Sobek has a sentry.
So we're just gonna dive just on my back.
One's there. Bona's mid.
We need to blow up Raw.
Right here.
Raw has beats too, so it's still down. We need to blow him up at some point.
We should look for him when they try to counter. That's Guan dash.
Real's was doing his...
pull this?
Yeah, you can pull.
Yeah,
Raw's coming. Raw's around.
we should look for the blink ult when we can then. One's right here.
Look at Raw.
He might try to snipe me.
I got everything on Raw. Where'd you? Don't tell me where we toss
I put
it.
it on you, sorry.
That's a heavenly.
I'm gonna TP
Alright,
coming
Twig's on me. Twig's chasing, or Real's chasing up Boosh.
I'm TPing.
We're just my eyes got back.
Yeah.
We got Raw.
We got Raw.
Yeah.
They're all behind you guys though.
I didn't realize
Sobek's
how
on
long
me.
the purple
I need
lasted.
Real's is behind me. Okay.
I can get away from
You guys-
Sobek.
Yeah, you're okay. They're like, Real's gonna cut you guys off.
Sobek's ult down.
Then I should
You guys
be
need to
okay.
see it back and be up for gold.
Yeah. I'm backing.
Sobek's just chasing me. I don't know if I can get out.
I can come to you.
They're going to go. Yeah, they're going for fire actually.
Yeah, they're just going for fire. I should have back.
Can we stop them?
Sobek's slow.
Unless
Yeah,
we're
they're
right
on
here.
fire.
Do we
They're
have
on
enough
fire. They're on fire.
Yeah.
I have to back.
I'm like here.
Yeah, you
but...
probably can't do anything. Probably have to give it up.
So bad.
Just need that. Oh,
No, they know.
Vulcan's still here. Gab is.
Get ready to hug, get ready to hug.
Hug. Oh fuck, I'm zoned out. Fucking cool. I got it. Nice. Care now.
Come on, let's go, Reels.
Get there. Nice. Keep going. I got my ult. Keep going.
I'm dead. Spread out.
Nice. Care now.
I'm still alive. Let's go.
I got heal.
I'm back.
We're fine. Let's crease behind you.
Mid tower, mid tower, mid tower, mid tower.
Real
I'm
scared.
just going through him like a fucking knife through.
Let's go mid tower. Let's go. Let's go. Gab is backing.
I'm gonna heal,
I got
I'm
heals,
gonna
I got
heal,
heals.
gonna heal.
Alright.
Sit down, Devios.
Let's go. Let's go.
Get that. Can you get mid Phoenix? I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
push
can,
right.
we
I'm
can.
gonna push
Three
right,
dead,
okay?
there, 3 dead.
Oh no, I'm gonna push left actually.
Push. Gab is coming. We can kill.
I got heal soon,
We
I
can
got
kill.
heal
We
soon,
can
I got
kill
heal
for
soon,
sure.
I got heal soon. I'm gonna play
Don't-
Sheila Phoenix,
yeah,
I'm gonna
play
play Sheila
Sheila
Phoenix.
Get him.
I'm going in, I'm
I'm ulting him. I'm ulting him. I'll get Ullr after.
Do you want me to come in? I'm gonna come
Ullr
in.
jump.
Phoenix.
Yeah, get it.
Phoenix.
Okay, I'm gonna push
They're spawning in
left,
3.
then.
We need to get out after.
Yeah, you're fine.
Fury. Straight to Fury.
Get out.
I'll get left tower, get out.
Go Fury.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get this tower quick.
Yeah. You're fine. You're close anyways.
Like butter indeed there from Reels.
Knife through
Hot
butter.
knife through butter as he just wrecks TSM, and finally the fight Fnatic was looking for.
Zaman, you looked like you were very interested in that engagement during that tier 2 where you were
TSM
done.
very uncharacteristically were not disciplined in that team fight. You heard them talking about what they wanted to do in that team fight beforehand, and that was really impressive. But they did not stick to it. They did not show the discipline there.
They didn't at
And
all.
also, I love the way Reels just, you know, his swagger and like you
came
can tell
out.
he has that carry mentality, and I'd love to see that.
And that's Fnatic going to get the goal Fury off the back of the fire jump we just saw there. I mean, the whole engagement onto zeros, which they realized about, the beads was already used when he only used the ultimate mid lane, which we saw earlier on.
Right.
And then the chase was just very, very deep.
You saw the bad communication between Guards and Snoopy there, right? Guards literally threw him out of the ultimate. And normally Serqet's throw them
Towards
into the wall, towards the wall, and that's what
Mm.
Snoopy assumed. And
And
lack
you
of
could, hear,
synergy
you
there.
could hear Snoopy say, you should have told me where he threw to. And he was like,
Exactly.
yeah, my bad. There's good communication still, but mistakes were made. And then the rest of the fight from Fnatic was very, very good to realize they could swing around for that fight.
Exactly.
Well, nearly 28 minutes in here, Fnatic has turned a small lead into a large one, about 10,000 gold separating the teams now as a 28-minute mark is going to be broached. Goal difference, as we mentioned, 9,800 XP at 6K there. And, well, Real ZX, he has come online and he is ready, as you saw, to carry the damages there. He's got a red pot going as well for him, and there's been 4 Gold Furies in this game. Not a one has gone to the side of Team SoloMid. It's been a very different game than game number 1. I, for one, am impressed with how Fnatic has adjusted to the Sun Wukong play. They've you saw Reels rotating in really late to that fight to kind of avoid that backline aggression.
I don't think they expected the Sun Wukong game 1. Like, anything that we could expect coming out from Devios, maybe they expected the Guardian or traditional warriors we've seen over in EU. They didn't know what to do with Sun Wukong, but now, after the game 1, they're like, you do it again, we'll be ready.
Right, and that's the sign of a very experienced and elite team. Fnatic realized they couldn't handle the Sun Wukong.
They're going to dump everything here onto Real ZX to try to bring him down. He gets a 450 damage grip, and now the anti-heal comes out, but the shell was active. He takes to the sky. No more damage coming out onto Reals. He's going to survive this one, if just barely. He's going to avoid a second ultimate from Snoopy that was a little early. The disarm hits 3 as well. The backline, Maniac going deep with Twiggy. They're going to find at least 2 kills now onto the back of Maniac, and this could very well be the end of the game. His Badger finds Divius. Snoopy tossed back. He's going to knock Maniac towards him, however. Twig finds Ionic. It's 4 members down. Just Snoopy survives, and Maniac's not done yet. He's going to go all the way in. A surrender vote has started. Team SoloMid is going to get wiped, and it's Fnatic who's going to be surging in for game number 2.
The good news is for this one, in all fairness for us, is the fact that EU did not go home without winning at least 1 game.
I think TSM got a little bit too overconfident after that first game, and they really tried a janky comp, right? The Ullr mid, the Vulcan duo, kind of risky
You say
at land.
janky, but then when was the last time you saw a Bellona, a Sobek, and a Guan in the same game?
That's pretty janky as well.
Yeah, that's pretty janky.
We'll come back to EU like from previous season 1. I mean, we used to mess around. Everybody goes, "This is EU."
Yeah.
Well, we just thought, let's go back to EU again.
I really impressed with Badger's play there. I think he ends up like 4, 5, 0, and 8 after that last engagement. Probably more assists than 8 as well, probably in the 10 to 12 category. I mean, just really exemplary play. Looks a lot like what we saw, the confusion that Europe had maybe against North American spicy picks. The Guan Yu spice, not a flavor they're used to.
No, not at all. I mean, Guan Yu is sort of like Worlds again. I mean, if you remember Worlds for Cloud9 versus Titan, you can deal with Ares and Ymir because it's not something you guys play over here. But then, you know, with that Guan Yu pickup again, I mean, to be honest, you should know Guan Yu because Incom plays it quite a lot.
Incom does play quite a lot, guys. First blood is ready. Let's go take another look at how this one got kicked off. It was, as I recall, a bloodbath for the first kill. It was like a flurry of 3.
I mean, you can see here, as we can look at the engagement here, as the tail swipe comes out, Bellona going in deep for Captain Twig. And it was all about, really, if you watch this engagement, continue the cavalry charge from Badger here. That says, he stuns it just as the Serqet lands. And it's Serqet that ends up going down in this engagement for Maniac. Devios, so with a quick response to this whole engagement.
And just all the credit in the world of Maniac, as you see, we're riding along with the Sobek, watching this first blood happen again. And Yeah, and then one more good whack. This is really where we start to really realize how dangerous this matchup was going to be for some Wukong. But to pull a god like Sobek out of your pocket, Maniac has gone from a healer-based kind of player, Aphrodites and Changas, to, okay, now I'm going to learn to play some warriors, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, look at my Sobek. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's been healers, it's been assassins, then it's been warriors, and now it's guardians as well. Just because all the other solo lanes have been playing guardians, he has to know the matchups.
That's right.
So he has to learn them.
Yeah, always continue to be impressed by Maniac's ability to prepare for the lanes that they're going to. Fnatic once again showing why they are considered the land gods. That does it for us from the desk from game number 2. Let's toss it over to the analyst before we get into game number 3. F-Dot, have at you then.
How about you, Dad? How's it going, Bart? I'm doing well. Excellent stuff coming out in that game number 2. Joined here again by Mr. Jeff Hindley himself. Wow. What do you have to say about that one?
Go NA?
A little less confident after that second game. You know, here in the studio audience, we've got a small audience, and you know, there's a couple of cheers and a couple of woos, but louder than that are Fnatic, the team themselves. Hearing Maniac, one of the things I absolutely loved. So they had the lane switch, which was a great move by Team SoloMid. They switched out Vulcan into the solo lane, so that Divios, who wasn't having a good time, could finish that mystical mail.
Which is what he wanted really bad. So
exactly. Later on in the game, Maniac could be heard chasing the Vulcan, saying, "Come back here, Snoopy. Come back here, Snoopy." Just absolutely being a bully. And I mean, we'll take a look at the map control and see just how much they bullied. Look at that. 4 Gold Furies.
that's, yeah, it's hard to come back from 4 golds.
Yeah, I mean, Gold Fury, we talked a little bit about it, or Lazarus and I did, but a Gold Fury here and there really isn't the end of the world. But 4 separate Gold Furies is a completely different story.
That's the end of the world.
They also wound up taking a Fire Giant as well, Fnatic did. And they did very well. They even invaded some of the jungle, as you can see on the map. That really sort of cemented the win, really took that home. And again, got to bring it back to Maniac, just being a constant bully. What did you say to me off camera about him not having fun?
It's not about him having fun, it's about everyone else not having fun.
Yeah, Sobek's just he's going to be a very boring pick in the solo lane, right? You know, you get your farm and you do nothing else. But as you said, nobody else is really allowed to have fun either. You could find Sobek just chasing everyone around. You're trying to back, it's not going to happen. He's just going to pop up. So going right into it, Maniac's our player of the game. Anything really surprise you about that one?
No, he played so well this game.
6-2-5 going out for the bare-chested Maniac right there as he just sort of cements himself as being really, really powerful. This is one of the cool plays that I have to mention, though. Notice in the background, Badger will probably be in every single one of these clips.
Yeah, Badger was everywhere throughout the entire game. He was doing a great job as support.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed going on was Geb. Playing against the Guan Yu, you have to realize that you're not, and this is exactly, hold that thought, this is what I'm talking about, just chasing. Yep. Always chasing, always being that bully. You'll see that consistently be the motif throughout these clips still, always chasing. But playing against that Guan Yu that Badger played, you have to realize that you're just not going to be as tanky as you think you are.
Against Guan Yu?
Against Guan Yu.
His 3, the Prot Shred, is that more than any other pen item in the game or close to it? Yeah. It's a ton of pen.
It's so much protection shredded, and that really allows, as we see Maniac really, this is one of the bigger shots. Maniac gets to do so much damage right here. Everybody got hit by that shred. They ran onto the tower, and then Maniac still being a bully. This is the moment, actually, where Maniac started screaming, "Come back here, Snoopy." He hit him with the pull, and he's chasing him into his base. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, that's a microcosm of what Maniac does in game to game. So just really cool stuff from Maniac. Definitely worthy of being our player of the game here. As we said, Badger also did very well. Yep. Anybody else you really want to mention?
Maniac.
Bringing it back to Maniac.
Really well.
Taking a look at the Team SoloMid boys after their loss. And there's the face of Maniac, our player of the game. Looks pretty confident right now. Really no worries in his face. There he is, shaking the eyebrows. I mean, you lose that game 1. You talked about it, how like, all right, you just gotta ignore it and come back around. Yep. Game 2, I mean, that's a different situation.
Exactly.
Going into game 3, you're just a little bit more confident. That's exactly what we're going to see. So we're not going to put any more thoughts in your brains. Let's just bring it back to game 3. Bart, tell us to it. All right, just kidding. We're going to stick around here. Bart's actually not at the desk, so that's on him. That's on 100% Bart. So let's talk about Reels. Reels was actually really, really incredible. What I like the most about Reels is how he plays from the outside in. Yeah. You see a lot of those ults. How does that work as a support, knowing that your hunter is going to come from the outside?
It's great because you know that he's not going to get pressured and he's not going to need help. So he comes in when he feels it's a good time, and then he devastates.
That's exactly what we saw coming out from Reels. That Ram, one of the cooler shots. He had the triple kill going for and then the camera following Reels. He gets the triple kill, and then he turns around and realizes he's behind a tier 2 tower. His team's taking #1. And I mean, that's really what Fnatic has brought to him. Right there, you see Coach Eppenderry really talking to Reels, going in depth about, well, I guess maybe not diving a tier 2.
Fair enough.
This time we're actually going to be able to talk to Bart. So head over there. How you doing, Bart?